If you're training and you don't have a structured workout plan, or you're not following a workout plan, then you're leaving gains on the table. This is why you should follow a training plan or a workout plan to make the best gains possible. Before we get started on today's video, allow me to reintroduce myself. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Daniel and I am a university student studying mechanical engineering, and I'm also working on becoming a qualified personal trainer, training clients from the gym, in the studio or online. And in this video, we're going to discuss what a structured workout plan is, how you can build a workout plan, and why it's so pivotal to follow a training plan and make the best gains possible. So let's get started. We've got to understand what is a structured training plan. A structured training plan is a exercise plan that tells us what exercises we do, how often we train, the metrics we need to know, for example, how many sets and reps we do at a specific weight. For example, you know that you're doing 4 sets of 10 reps for a 20-kilogram bicep curl, and it's like a roadmap to your fitness journey and tells us what we need to do to achieve our fitness goals. An example of a good training plan is knowing that you train 5 times a week, and you know that you're doing a bro split, which is a split that you train individual muscles on each training day. For example, one day you're training chest, the second day you're training back, the third day you're training arms, the fourth day you're training shoulders, and the fifth day you're training legs, and you have 2 rest days. A training plan also includes plans where you have rest days to ensure that you recover from the previous workouts you did. So let's say it's a Monday and you have a chest day. You know, when you walk into the gym, you are going to train chest. So you know that your structured training plan includes only chest exercises, and you don't need to do other exercises. So it saves a lot of time as to what exercises you chose. So let's say you do chest day, you know that you're going to do chest press, chest flies, press ups, dips, and many other chest exercises. Here's how you can build a sufficient workout plan tailored to your fitness goals. First of all, make sure to define your goal. What do you want to do to get from your current fitness position to your next fitness position? For example, how much muscle do you want to build? How much body fat do you want to lose? How fast do you want to improve your run time? Or how much tone do you want to be? Make sure to be clear with that so you can tailor your exercises to those specific goals and track your workouts based on those goals, and apply progressive overload to any exercise you do when necessary. Once you know and understand what goals you have for your fitness journey, then make sure you can balance your training with any other sort of commitments you have. So what I recommend you do is that I recommend you have a specific timetable based on any commitments you may have, for example, school, work, university, college, etc. So for example, I would say, let's say you work Monday to Friday, 9 to 5 a.m. You need to balance your training based on your work times and whenever it's convenient for you. So let's say you finish work at 5 and you're very tired and you just can't be bothered to train at 5, from 5 to 7, for example, then you can set your training times from 6 to 8, Monday to Friday, or only go 3 times a week on weekdays and go on both weekends. So let's say you work in an office job with standard business hours. To avoid any traffic or the crowds in gyms, then you can work out Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 6 to 8 a.m. And then on Saturdays and Sundays, you can work out at any time you desire, because in those times, gyms are not very busy and you can work out in peace without anyone disturbing you or have anyone that doesn't help you with your workouts. So I would say make sure you can commit to your training plan and not skip the days where just because you have specific commitments. I understand for some people no 2 days are the same. So if you're someone who has different schedules all the time, then I would say is that only create a workout schedule once a week, so that can align to any commitments you may have or whatever you need to do during the day, as well as your training program. With your structured training plan, if you're planning to do weight training, which I recommend everyone to do, no matter what sport you're doing, no matter what reason you're trying to work out, whether it's to build muscle, lose fat, or whatever it may be, I would say everyone has to be lifting weights of some kind. It doesn't have to be 100 kilograms bench press. It can be as little as 1 kilogram or whatever your ability is. And a big component of weight training is progressive overload. What is progressive overload? Progressive overload is progressively increasing the weights you do over a certain period of time. For example, you know that you're deadlifting 100 kilograms for 5 reps in 1 week, and then the next week you can do 110 kilograms for 5 reps, or even 100 kilograms for 6 reps. That's progressive overload, because what you're doing is that you're increasing the weight or the amount of reps you do for a specific exercise. And one more thing is that progressive overload even includes good form. So for example, if you do 100 kilograms of deadlift with bad form, which is not something I recommend, but the next week you do 100 kilograms of deadlift with good form, then that's a sign of improvement, because although you're doing the same amount of sets and reps with the same weight, your technique and form is better, which indicates a sense of progress and achievement. So that applies with progressive overload as well. How can you track progressive overload? You can do this by having a logbook and logging in your lifts. So for example, you could be logging your deadlifts as you're doing 100 kilograms for 3 sets of 5, and you may track that in your logbook, and then 1 month later or even 2 weeks later you track your deadlifts again and you're doing 110 kilograms for 5 reps for 3 sets, or even you're doing 100 kilograms for 3 sets and 6 reps. And as you track those lifts, you can see that you're progressively overloading as you're increasing the amount of sets, not the amount of sets, but you increasing the weights, or you're increasing the amount of reps you do. And you may even see that your form improves as well, as you're able to handle that amount of weight as well, which helps with tracking your progress and being a motivator for you to keep disciplined and keep going on with your fitness journey. You may be wondering, what's the point of having a training plan if you guess you already know what you're doing? There are many reasons as to why you must have a training plan. One reason is that it helps build discipline. So let's say if you have a specific workout plan that you must follow if you, for example, want to lose body fat, you know that you have to show up in the gym in the same time, in the same place, and train with the most amount of intensity as possible, eat the best amounts of food as you can to ensure you lose fat and keep or even build muscle in some circumstances. And it helps you keep accountable to your fitness goals, and it helps you to ensure you're not skipping any workouts and you are dedicated to being the best that you can be in your fitness journey and your life as well. Another reason is that it helps prevent plateaus. So let's say if you have a structured training plan, you are able to track your lifts, track the exercise you do with the metrics, for example, sets, reps, the weight you do. Then you can train with the most amounts of intensity as possible, going close enough or even to failure in some circumstances or exercises, and this will help manage progressive overload and prevent any plateaus that you may face. I've already done a video on plateaus and how to overcome them, so I will link that video in the description below. Also, having a structured training plan can help prevent overtraining, which leads to injuries. If you don't have a specific training plan, then what's going to happen is that you just mindlessly train and just go when you feel like it, or just train 7 times a week, 24/7, which is not something I would recommend, as it can put your muscles in strain, and without a workout plan you may overtrain a specific group of muscle just because you like it. Your muscles don't have enough time to recover, hence you won't grow, and you can even potentially gain an injury because you did not allow that muscle to fully repair yourself, which and grow, which can even lead to damages in the future. Having a sufficient workout plan also saves a lot of time. For example, if you're having a good workouts plan, then you know that you're training a specific muscle on a specific day. So, like I said earlier in the video, you do a bro split and you have chest day. You know that you're going to train chest. You're going to be in the chest section, as I believe in some gyms they have specific sections for specific muscle groups. So you know that you're going to train chest, and you don't have to worry about any other muscle groups. So you can just get on with your workouts and not waste time with any nonsense and trying out equipment. So a good structured training plan will help you to know what muscle you're training on a specific day, and it would lead you to just get on with it and not waste any unnecessary time with finding out how to do the exercise, what to train, and how you can and what lifts you want to do. Now that you know what a training plan is and understand the importance of having a training plan, we need to know that a lot of people make mistakes with this, and I've made mistakes myself whilst having a training plan. So here's some common mistakes that a lot of people do when creating a training plan. One mistake is that some people copy other people's training plans. Listen, like I said before, training plans are not generic. Every person has a specific training plan tailored to them, or at least should have a training plan tailored to them, as one not everyone has the same goals. So when you walk into the gym, you see people from all walks of life and have different goals. Don't try and copy other people's workouts just because they seem they know what they're doing. What's working for them may not work for you, and what works for you does not work for them. So I would say just have a training program tailored to you and ensure that you stick to it on a daily basis. Another mistake is that some people do too much cardio and not enough weight training. Like I said, too much cardio is not good. Unless you're a marathon runner or a long distance athlete, that's different. But if you're like most people who want to lose fat, build muscle, get toned, whatever, then too much cardio will not help with this progress. For example, let's say you're trying to lose body fat and you do an hour of high intensity cardio. I don't recommend this, as when you're doing cardio, yes, you burn a lot of calories, but your appetite is quite high. And when you're burning those calories, you have a high appetite, so you just eat those calories back. And for example, if you burn 1,000 calories in a 60-minute treadmill session, you're going to crave, and you have restaurants all over you, like most gyms these days. They have restaurants all over them, all over gyms, and you're going to crave those foods, and you just eat. And 1,000 calories is much easier to consume compared to 1,000 calories being burnt. So you're just going to end up indulging in your desires and eating back those calories, which makes the whole thing a waste, in my opinion. But weight training does not increase appetite as much and does not burn as many calories. So it's sustainable, and weight training is easier long term, because when you're building muscle, you burn calories passively compared to doing cardio. You burn calories aggressively, and I will do a future video on how burning calories works and how consuming calories works, so stay tuned for that. One of the biggest mistakes when creating a training plan is skipping rest days. Look, rest days are not a bad thing. Rest days can be pivotal to your progress, whether you're trying to build muscle, lose fat, get toned, whatever it may be. You know, muscle is not built in the gym. it's built outside the gym. Rest days are when muscles grow and become stronger. When you're taking rest days, you give your muscles a chance to have a, a good sense of recovery and get back stronger than ever. So I would say always make sure you're having around 2 to 4 rest days a week. In those rest days, you can do light intensity cardio or any sort of physical activity. Don't just stay sedentary, as that doesn't help either. And also don't go too intense in your rest days as well. So I would say always have rest days and use those rest days to ensure that your diet is optimal. Maybe update your training schedule regularly where it needs to be, and always ensure that your training program is sustainable long term. Now that you have a better understanding with training structures and how to structure your training plan, here are 5 practical steps you can take to ensure that you have the most optimal training plan tailored to your needs. Make sure you build a structured training plan based on your work commitments or any responsibilities you may have. Choose specific days that you want to train based on your work commitments and how you can fit your training around your schedule. Choose 5 to 6 exercises per session to do based on how much you want to progress or what muscles you want to train. For example, in push days, you want to do bench presses, shoulder presses, lateral raises, tricep extensions, dips. For pull days, you want to do deadlifts, barbell rows, pull-ups, hammer curls, preacher curls, lat pull downs, etc. For legs, you want to do squats, leg press, hack squats, hip thrusts, leg extensions, etc. And use those exercises to track your workouts, which can help you track your progress and evaluate where you need to improve. And if you're plateauing, then I would say your body may get used to the stimulus you put, and your body may be bored of it. So I would say adjust your training plan based on your schedule every 6 to 8 weeks to ensure that the muscle gets enough stimulus and it doesn't fully adapt to the training you do, ensuring that you can consistently apply progressive overload and make better progress with your fitness journey. If you're ready to stop wasting time with your fitness journey without a fitness plan, then take 10 minutes today to write a fitness plan or build a structured training plan. And feel free to DM me with any questions you may have, or you can even DM me your training program and I can give you some feedback as to what went well and how you can improve your training plans further. So make sure you take the first step today in your fitness journey, and my DMs are open as well. Remember, success in fitness is all about consistency. You will never ever get results instantly. So over time, if you follow a structured training plan, you train hard, you eat well, you do everything correctly, then over time, this will motivate you even further to see better results and progress further in your fitness journey. So keep training and keep striving. If you found this video useful, make sure to like, comment and share, and be sure to subscribe for much more free value. My Instagram will be in the description below, so make sure you give me a follow on there for even more free value. I really appreciate you watching, and I'll see you in the next video.